So this 1 p.m. deadline passed that the Biden regime put in place for Texas Governor Abbott to remove the razor wire that had been put in place by his National Guard. As far as I understand, they're not complying with it. And it looks like other states are joining in. They're sending in their National Guard, including Oklahoma. Let's have a look at what they had to say about that.
The former president, Donald Trump, has suggested to all the Republican governors out there, send members of your state's National Guard. In your case, Governor, it would be the Oklahoma National Guard. Send them down to Texas to help Greg Abbott. Are you going to do that?
Absolutely. You know, I've done it once before, and we're looking. I already talked to my tag, my General Mancino. We've already started putting the numbers together. We'll be in contact with Governor Abbott.
The former president, Donald Trump.
From what I understand, I think there are about 10 other states. Let's have a look. Also, it looks like things are moving fast. Oklahoma to send troops as 25 U.S. states join Texas border control fight. So it's grown quite rapidly. Governor Kevin Stitt says Oklahoma's National Guard will help Texas state after Trump called for Republican-led states to band together to combat illegal immigration problem. I want to see which other states there are. Which are the other states? I think I saw something over here. What's this?
South Dakota not alone in signaling its support for Texas. 25 governors joined a united front with Texas and what they say was the state's constitutional right to self-defense. Every Republican governor signed a public statement except Vermont's Phil Scott, who voted for Biden in 2020.
Phil Scott. Shaking my fucking head at you.
Republican Governors Association did release a statement that said in part, instead of upholding the rule of law and securing the border, the Biden administration has attacked and sued Texas for stepping up to protect American citizens from historic levels of illegal immigrants, deadly drugs like fentanyl, and terrorists entering our country. Former President Trump backing them up, writing, "We encourage all willing states to deploy their guards to Texas to prevent the entry of illegals and to remove them back across the border."
Well, there you have it. Let's see this map again. Where was it? Where was it? Back here.
Texas, and what they say was the...
Okay, so we've got Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska. I don't go through all of the names, but you can see it. It's a good sizable part of the country. Interesting little map there. I wonder if that correlates to any other. Maps are always interesting. You can, like, when you overlap them with other stuff, other data, it's quite an eye-opener. So there's quite a movement against the federal government at the moment. It's shaping up to be quite this tense little situation on the border there. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. The deadline's been passed, and Governor Abbott doesn't seem to be backing down at all. Let's have a look at what he said on Tucker Carlson.
We're thankful to be joined now by Governor Greg Abbott of Texas, who joins us by phone from India. Governor Abbott, thank you so much for joining us. If the administration declares that it plans to federalize the National Guard of the state of Texas, your National Guard, what will be your response?
Well, first, I'll be shocked. That would be a boneheaded move on his part, a total disaster. But for one, as you might imagine, we are prepared in the event that unlikely event does occur to make sure that we will be able to continue exactly what we've been doing over the past month, and that is building these barriers, whether it be the concertina wire or other anti-crime border barriers, whatever we've been building. The Biden administration is now trying to attack us because of it, and we will continue to do exactly what we're doing to expand our denial of illegal entry into the state of Texas.
With state employees, I assume, not with National Guard. But can you
I don't really know how this is all going to work. I mean, what does he mean?
Envision a scenario in which you would put armed state employees on the border instead of the National Guard of Texas.
We do have other armed state employees on the border as we speak right this minute, and that's the Texas Department of Public Safety, as well as other law enforcement officers, as well as National Guard from other states. And you can be assured there will be more National Guard from other states and more law enforcement officers within the state of Texas and other states. And, Tucker, I just signed a new law in the state of Texas that will go into effect on March the 5th that authorizes any law enforcement officer in the state of Texas to be able to arrest anybody coming across the border illegally.
Yeah, well, interesting to see how that goes. But I'm not I don't know if I should show this whole thing. I might get dinged by Tucker Carlson, but perhaps I should just shift towards the
The
end.
border barriers that we are erecting, the razor wire that we're putting up, and to continue to gain control of more land over the coming months. I believe, however, that this will all come to an end on January the 20th of next year.
Right.
Because I believe a new president will be.
Yeah, but that's some time away. I mean, we've got quite a disaster going on in between now and then. I mean, 3 million people could come across just this year in this next 11 months, 10 months, however it's going to be. So the situation is really dire, and it's not just confined to Texas.
A president who will actually enforce the immigration laws of the entire country, not just the Texas border, but New Mexico and Arizona and California and the Canadian border also. And we will have safe and secure borders once again because we will have a president who actually will enforce the laws of the United States of America.
But in the next year, are you concerned about any kind of conflict between state forces, whether state employees or National Guard, and federal forces?
Right.
So, Tucker, all we can do is be as prepared as possible, deploy as many people as possible, do as much as possible to put up more border barriers and deny illegal entry. And our head is down. We're working hard, regardless of what the Biden administration is doing.
Governor Greg.
Well, there it is. Regardless of what the Biden administration says, Abbott is moving forward. This is an interesting little showdown. I'm not sure if there's going to be like a physical fight. I mean, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Let's see what's happening over in the news. Civil war fears as US about to explode as Border Patrol and National Guard go head to head in Texas. Armed wings of the US government are in confrontation, and there are concerns things could get very ugly at Riverside Park in Texas. There are dark warnings that the US could slip into a civil war due to a bizarre standoff in a Texas park, that some fear could see different arms of the American government in open and armed conflict with one another. The federal US Border Patrol and Texas National Guard are now in a face-to-face confrontation to see who will blink first. The epicenter of the feud is the municipality Shelby Park in the small Texan town of Eagle Pass, 230 kilometers southwest of San Antonio. The town and its park hug the Rio Grande that mark its frontier. It's an interesting situation. I don't know if I want to go all the way through this article. It seems a little bit hyperbolic, but I mean, maybe Tim Pool is right. Maybe things are getting this bad. A smuggler drops off immigrants and films it as proof of delivery. Check at that. Look at that. That's just that is smug. That is brazen. Texas to ignore federal deadline over border patrol. Well, that's passed. It's done. It's done. Anyway, I wish the best for the people of Texas and the people of all of the American states, particularly the ones who have joined in here of the fight. This needs to be sorted out, and the Supreme Court doesn't seem to give a shit. And this is the other thing is this kind of bit of a this is somewhat of a crisis in the sense that they've ruled, and they've ruled in such a way that is almost unacceptable. And if that's the case, do we really believe in the checks and balances that are there? If we're not going to, abide by the decisions that they make, I think when those decisions result in the invasion of your country, you really have to start to question: is this a functional mechanism? Is it working? What's going on, SCOTUS? How did that happen? Anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. This is just a quick one. Things are heating up fast. I'm not sure how it's going to end. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of talk of Texit after this day forward. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon.